Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
And I'll bet right now there's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
A first down throw for Brissett. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
And they come off a tough loss last week. And what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And the big difference in the game? Their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? They don't want to waste this outstanding field position on this opening drive as they come up on third down. Play fake, Brissett, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
And in last week's game, you weren't sure which side was going to do the cheering when he stepped back to throw the ball,
But
right?
you knew he was going to throw it a lot.
Oh, he's going to throw it a lot. I mean, he ended up throwing 5 touchdown passes, but his interception rate, that wasn't so terrific either. So one side was going to be cheering when he stepped back to throw it.
They did get the win, though. We'll see if they can parlay that into this week. Naeem Hines, his first carry. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up second down. Time to feature the offensive starters, and our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. And now it's Rosen looking. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K'Wan Short able to record his 5th sack of the season. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
55. Right there, 55.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Travion Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
A big third down pickup of 20 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Now it's Rosen. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Naeem Hines, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Throwing on second down. Brissett. With a catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case,
and he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Let's go, D, let's go. Let's get it.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. To throw is Rosen. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 15.
Pass interference. Defense.
Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Rolling to his left.
Holding. Offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They run with Hines. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And he's going to have the hook up to Ross. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Rosen will throw, and that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Under pressure, they got him again.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
But apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Going for the deep ball. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Hines. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rosen escaping the pressure right. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. On 1st down, Hines. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Rosen to throw. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. John Ross, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Sanders on for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. To throw again on second down. Brissett. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, Brissett. They'll find Everett there, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Brissett to throw on first. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Gerald Everett as the first half is winding down as his guys are back within a single score. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well. So
what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Rosen now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
Switch it, come on, switch. Alert. 5. Mike 52. Nice, sweetheart. Monday. 52, Mike 52.
Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll start in the NFC North. Minnesota playing host to Chicago up at U.S. Bank Stadium. And it's the Vikings who are out in front. Stephon Diggs, a touchdown reception. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Green Bay to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Aaron Rodgers carving them up with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital, see what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. Will Fuller, a touchdown reception. In our game has been the UCLA man Josh Rosen with the strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Josh Rosen heading back out, the focus of our players' spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Rosen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brissett. They will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead now up to 14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. He completes it to Boyd. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On second down, it's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's King. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. First down, Brissett. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41. On the counter, here's Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Here's Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Brissett now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Check 50, check 50.
On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Again, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Let's go.
A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain you...
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now in Miami. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. 2nd down and goal. Brissett. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Zerline now for the PAT.
Big score. First step in their attempt to climb back into this game.
Yes, but still some work to do as they get within a score here. A 10-play drive that time, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, defense.
Here's Rosen. It's caught. Smith. A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll look to throw. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Logan Ryan that time who knocked it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Rosen. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Williams loses the football. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun for Sam. Got his man complete over the middle. It's King. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brissett. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett. And that will be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
4th down, Brissett. And no! It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the other expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Bengals grab it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
You know, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Throwing again on 2nd down. Brissett. Short play like that. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Troy Apke. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense. But they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
They begin the drive with Hines. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Yeah, let's go
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. To throw is Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They're going on 4th down. Rosen airing it out deep for Smith. And that is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game, that punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It is your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. You know, some coaches more aggressive than others.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Chris Jones in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. After the sack on 1st down, Brissett, and he's going to go down again. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Christian Wilkins in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Miami, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gould.